really hungry right now. Technically speaking, I'm hangry. I was just online and engaging in 5 or 6 different conversations at once in different Facebook forums, and I noticed that I was getting really irritable. I thought that I was winning a lot of the arguments, but I don't know, apparently other people thought otherwise. But, I'm kind of hungry, feeling hangry, and just feeling a lot of hate inside myself. If you're anything like me, and someone proves you wrong, you double down, right? I mean, because the last thing you want to do is be wrong. I personally fucking hate it when I am wrong. I will do anything to not be wrong. And the hate that I feel when I'm proven wrong really feels most conveniently as a kind of directed toward the other person who's proven me wrong. So, for example, I was just at a Senate hearing, and I was in my underwear, and my hair is really long, I had my silver earrings, and I showed up with boots and just briefs. And I was standing there in the middle of this Senate hearing. There's a huge table, all these photographers and videographers, and then there's another huge table with like 15 really important bigwigs on it, and they were sitting there interrogating me, trying to somehow prove that I was wrong. And I laid back like this, put my feet up on the table with my cowboy boots, and I just simply asserted the truth, which is I am right and you are wrong. Now, for me, I am not inherently troubled by the self-contradictory nature of me being right and everybody else being wrong, in the sense that it's contradictory for me to assume that I'm the only one on the planet who is right while everybody else is wrong. That doesn't bother me. And I noticed that it doesn't really bother anybody else either. So then the real question is, which one of us is right and which one of us is wrong? Because there can only be one answer in the entire universe. And someone has to have it. You know what I mean? Someone's got to have access to the truth. Now, is it me or is it you? And that's what all these Facebook conversations were about. I was like, I'm fucking right, you're fucking wrong. I really hate you right now because you think that I'm wrong when I know that I'm right. So I just decided. I just fucking decided. I'm tired of other people being right. Okay? I'm right. They are wrong. Categorically. It doesn't matter. So I am not vulnerable to empirical evidence, because any empirical evidence that would stand as a refutation of my beliefs is simply, obviously, completely wrong. Because clearly I have access to that one universal truth that other people don't have access to. They are mere pretenders to the throne. Now, how does that make you feel? That every time that you talk to me, you know that essentially you are wrong. Because I have that monolithic perspective that annihilates contrary perspectives. What do you think about me now? Do you want to pay me exorbitant sums of money to sort out your life so you can live in accord with that one universal truth to which alone I have access? Do I become more powerful for you? All of a sudden, do you see me as a being of light, full of the truth, the one perspective that's correct, and everything that you believe, wrong? How does that make you feel? I know when other people, you talk to me and they think that they're right, I have a problem with that. If them thinking they're right is somehow me being wrong, I phase out. I get really entrenched in my own perspective, and then I just phase out. I'm tired of it, though. I'm tired of taking the hit. I had this one guy who was so vehement, he became passionately convinced that the only true or the best scenario for someone like me is to be electrocuted in an electric chair with my whole family in attendance. Because I was so wrong and he was so right. Always right and wrong with these people. Always. There's no other option. You were either right or you were wrong. I mean, isn't that really what a PhD is about? I'm right and you're wrong? And that if you've got a master's and not quite a PhD, you're not completely right yet? You're almost completely right? And you're very much semi-wrong? Listen. We live in a subtle universe. There's lots of options, lots of possibilities, a very tangled mess of infinite distinctions, which we have to wade through every day, and it's just clearly preferable to say, you're wrong and I am right. Always! You are wrong and I am right. I've tried it the other way around. I'm wrong and you were right. And I just feel like people were trampling over me like a stampede of wild horses. I turned it around. Now, it didn't get me very far in that Senate hearing. I'm going to jail. But I'm right. And when I'm behind bars, I will know that everyone around me is wrong. I'll simply know. I may never get out. It may be a life sentence, but I know that the people who sentenced me there were wrong. And I'm right. Have you ever thought about what it means to be truly right inside yourself? Everything is answered in advance. Every single thing. There's no gray. There's no fudge room. There's no negotiation, no compromise, none of that bullshit bureaucracy. When I'm alone in jail, at least I'm right. At least I know everybody else is wrong. All those people at that Senate hearing, thinking they know, thinking they're right to put me away for life. That other guy who wants to see me in an electric chair, he doesn't give a shit about a lifetime sentence. He wants to see me fry. Because he knows he's right, but he's not right. I'm obviously right. I'm the one sitting here in jail, biding my time, enjoying the truth. Now it just so happens I have a pen pal. Pen pal asks me, on behalf of millions of other human beings, about the nature of right and wrong. And I tell them, straight up, know that you're right, and know that everybody else is wrong. And this is all that you have to do. So this pen pal, he's becoming a little bit of a demagogue, I must admit, a little bit of a celebrity among his followers. He stands up on his soapbox, his dais, his podium, and he addresses the multitude. And he really doesn't say anything other than, I am right and you are wrong. He will give a 10-minute speech to that effect. I am right, you are wrong. I am right. You are wrong. I am right. And you are wrong. I am right. And you are wrong. I'm right. Okay? You're wrong. I am right. And you, sadly, are so wrong. I'm right. You are wrong. That's what I told him from my jail cell. You just have to know where you stand. You have to have such conviction that there's no probability that you could be in error. No. There's no admission of a false orientation. There's no admission of falsity. And that's not how you get through life. That's not how you navigate reality and achieve success in the world. You must always be right. Because think about it. If you're not right, what's gonna happen to your world? If you're not right and you get hit by a truck and you die, and you were wrong just before you took that final breath on your deathbed? Yeah. What then? So it's clear, it's crystal clear that you need to be right. Okay? So that when you get sent packing for the netherworld beyond death, you show up and you can tell all the angels or demons that you're right. And you can tell every being that appears on the other edge that you're right. You really, really need to imagine the contrary scenario where you could be wrong. And then, even worse than being wrong, is to simply not know at all. To have that kind of negative capacity where you live amid uncertainty your entire life. And then the fourth worst possibility, by far, is that you were wrong, that you are right, that you are uncertain, you are all of the above. And that, as far as I'm concerned, is solitary confinement. You are alone. There's no other being that's ever lived that is both wrong, right, uncertain, and all of the above. That's inconceivable and unintelligible, and would fuck the machinery of the cosmos from the inside, just as it scrambles your brain like eggs. How can it be all of the above? One time I had thought perspective. Oh, I did. Oh, yeah. And you should have seen the way the cogs of my mind went backward and forward like a clock that was stuck. Going 1 second, going back. 1 second, going back. And my brain just started to break. And when my brain broke, when my mind shattered, they threw me into solitary. That's where I really felt that fourth option. Oh, fuck. Fuck. That's like being in a horror movie, right? Where you got this kind of satanic Freddy Krueger-like entity coming after you with spikes in his head. And I looked deep into the yawning maw of the abyss, and I saw yet another option. A fifth option. I can't even say this blew my mind, because at that point, truly, deep inside the abyss of solitary confinement, my mind vanished. The fifth option. Beyond right, beyond wrong, beyond gray, beyond all of them. Together, the fifth option. Oh God. Don't even make me tell you what that fifth option is. I just want to avoid it. I just want the first option. I just want to be right all the time. You have any idea what that fifth option actually is in the abyss of solitary confinement? You're not right. You're not wrong. There's no gray, and it's not all of the above. It's death. But a kind of death. It makes me realize why we are so afraid. That death is the bliss of the abyss.